We're talking specifically about lockdowns. We're in 2020, we're coming out of coronavirus, out of COVID-19, and one of the most pressing issues in many people's minds is the whole situation, lockdowns and the inability to go to church, the inability to go to bars, whatever it is you like to do. You have a lot less freedom to do that. You also have these mask requirements. You also have certain limitations on other activities, like I said, like churches and schooling and these things. So we're talking about people living their lives. We're talking about significant impositions on their freedom. How are these nominees, how is this particular nominee going to rule on this type of case? And so we have another case from the 7th Circuit Court of Appeals. This one is about lockdowns. So here, the Illinois Republican Party was actually suing the governor of Illinois, J.B. Pritzker. And this was also decided by 3 judges, and it was joined by Barrett, but she did not actually author the opinion. She just joined it, which means she's agreeing with it, but she's not actually writing it. And so what happened in this case? The Illinois governor, like most of the rest of the country, implemented some lockdown orders, and that went into effect. The governor, in their lockdown orders in Illinois, exempted certain religious organizations from the lockdown, saying that if you need to go to church, if you need to, pray or worship, there are going to be certain exclusions. We're going to allow you to do some of that. So the Republican Party then saw that, wait a minute, we're seeing all these protests happen. We're looking around, we're seeing Black Lives Matter, on the streets. All of these political organizations are happening around our cities and our municipalities. And that's not fair, right? If the religious people are going to be excluded, if BLM is going to be excluded, the Republican Party wants to be excluded. And so they actually sued the governor. They filed a lawsuit and they took this up, and they said that there is this favoritism that's going on. They're being excluded from the process and they want to be more involved in it. So as this was going forward, the court decided, no, the lockdown order is valid. That's essentially what they said. Here is the opinion. And now remember, this does not come from Amy Coney Barrett. This comes from Judge Woods, but Amy Coney Barrett joins in on this. She says, or the court says, because the exercise of religion involves more than a simple speech, the equivalency urged on us by Republicans between political speech and religious exercise is a false one. Reed does not compel the governor to treat all gatherings alike. So whether they're Catholics, Lutherans, Jews, Democrats, alumni, Chicago Bears fans, whatever it is, free exercise of religion enjoys an expressed constitutional protection. The governor was entitled to carve out some room for religion, even while he declined to do so for other people. So in that opinion, the court is finding the government lockdown orders are valid, and the exclusions were also valid. So the court said that those religious expressions, those worshipful services, those can take place. Republican Party, we know you want the exclusions too, but the governor can decide to not give you those. And they also addressed the BLM stuff. They said, well, the order from the governor didn't expressly provide that BLM has special privileges. Therefore, they can't say that there was any unequal protection of the law. They're saying the order was facially equal, and the fact that the governor was supportive of BLM and of the protests really doesn't factor into the law. That's just a personal opinion. The governor is free to do that. So this one, if you're a pro-freedom, not in favor of big government, not in favor of the lockdowns, in favor of more free, individual freedoms, the ability to go and speak out politically and participate in the protests, or just even run your business. This is not a good opinion for somebody of that mindset. So, this opinion is supporting the lockdown, supporting the governors. It's more big government authority, big government control. And if you are in favor of that stuff, if you're in favor of the lockdowns, if you want more lockdowns, you may be a huge fan of Amy Coney Barrett. But if you're not, if you're on the other side, you maybe look at this opinion and have some skepticism.